We are here with the first MCQ for class 11th. If you like this, please do follow and like and subscribe and share this channel. I will be adding all the chapters of English first, and then I will add the Hindi as well. So if you want Hindi and English, you will get them here. The quiz link will be in the description of each video. You can go ahead and try them. So this is the first MCQ which I've made, and it is based on the chapter The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. It's a lovely story, and let's go ahead with the first question. What would the grandmother do in the temple on a daily basis? Teach other kids religious prayers, sing religious prayers, read scriptures, or do meditation? So the correct answer for this is read scriptures. Let's go to the next question. What happened when they took the grandmother's corpse away? They mourned her death in her room. Nothing happened. Birds flew away quietly. Neighbors visited them to pay condolences. So this basically what happened when they took the grandmother's corpse away is actually referring to the what did the birds do. So the answer is the birds flew away quietly. Next, why didn't the grandmother like music? It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. She liked the traditional folk music. She liked only religious prayers. She thought it would distract him from studies. Would distract him means distract Khushwant Singh, the author of this, the writer of this chapter. So the answer to this is it was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. So as per grandmother, she didn't like it because she thought that way. Next question. What happened when the author moved abroad to study for 5 years? Parents moved with him. Grandmother moved back to village. No one came to see him. Grandmother bid goodbye by silently kissing his forehead. So when the author moved away or moved abroad to study for 5 years, the grandmother just bid goodbye silently by kissing his forehead. Let's go to the next question. Where was the author's grandfather's portrait placed? So where was the author's grandfather's portrait placed? It was put on the mantelpiece, hung above the mantelpiece, it was on a table, or it was on a shelf. So correct answer for this, children, is it was hung above the mantelpiece. Let's go to the next question. Did the author bother to learn the morning prayers that his grandmother recited? He listened but did not bother to learn. He could not learn. Yes or no. So the MCQ is asking whether the author did learn the morning prayers that his grandfather recited. So the answer to this is he listened to all those prayers, but he never did bother to learn them. Next, go to the next question. What was her reaction when he came back after 5 years? Clasped the author in her arms and said prayers. Happy, sentimental, overwhelmed. Answer for this is clasped the author in her arms and said prayers. Next question. How did the grandmother spend her time in the city? Reading scriptures, spinning the wheel, feeding dogs, or talking to neighbors? So correct answer for this, children, is she spent her time in the city by spinning the wheel. Next question. What change came in the grandmother's evening schedule? She collected the women of the neighborhood. She would sleep early. She would go for a walk, or she would talk to his parents or her parents. So the correct answer for this is she collected the women of the neighborhood, mandali laga leta, like that, for gupshup. So what happened when the grandmother didn't pray for the first time? She fell ill the next day. She took a break and went to the village. She made this her routine, or none of the above. The correct answer is she fell ill the next day. Next question. Where were the parents of the author? They were in city, other state, other village, or they were abroad. Correct answer for this, children, is they were in city. The next question. Who is the author of the Portrait of Lady? Ruskin Bond, Vikram Bhatt, Naipaul, or Khushwant Singh? So I've already told you this Portrait of Lady is by Khushwant Singh. So the correct answer is Khushwant Singh. Next. What did the grandmother do in her final hours? Talk to everyone in the house, silently praying and telling her beads, worried about everyone, or went to temple. So her final hours means when she was about to die. So she silently prayed and she told the beads. So that was the correct answer. Next question. What did the author eat for breakfast? Thick bread with butter, rice and curd, thick and stale chapatis with a little butter and sugar spread in it, or upma. Well, all these options are making me feel hungry, but let's go and tell the correct answer. The correct answer is thick and stale chapatis with a little butter and sugar spread in it. Next question. How did the sparrows express their sorrow at the death of their grandmother, or the grandmother of the author? They came and sat silently in the veranda. They didn't come that day. They ate the breadcrumbs, or they chirped a lot. तो normally जो sparrows होते हैं, they do understand when there's a death in the family. They do know that someone has died. So in this instance also, they did know that grandmother has died. So what they did is they came and sat silently in the veranda. Next question. How do you feel about the character of the grandmother in the chapter? Strong, loving, selfless, or emotional? Well, all the characters, all these emotions were linked with the character, but to feel about the character, you have to choose one option. You have to choose one option, and the answer for this is strong. So grandmother was a strong lady. Next question. What was the turning point of the friendship between grandmother and author? When his parents called them both to the city, when they stopped talking, or when he became an adult, or when he left her to live in the city with his parents. So correct answer for this is when his parents called them both to the city. It was the turning point. Next question. When was their common link of friendship snapped? When he went to the university, they were given separate rooms. When he started working, or when he went to the college, or when he went abroad. Actually, the common link of friendship snapped between the author and the grandmother when he went to the university and they were given separate rooms. So they were, almost every day inside their own rooms, and that, snapped the friendship. Next question. How did the grandfather in the portrait hung on the wall look like? Old, long white beard, one big turban. Old, skinny or wrinkly. Old, well-built, young, handsome and well-built. Well, it's an important MCQ. You need to remember. The grandfather in the portrait hung on the wall looked like old, with long white beard and one big turban. Next question. Why would grandmother accompany the author to his school? To wait for him to take him back to home, to keep an eye on him, because of the temple attached to the school, or she wanted to meet the villagers? The correct answer for this is because of the temple attached to the school. Next question. How did the grandmother react to her illness? She took care of her. She said her end was near. She was admitted to the hospital, or she ignored her health. The correct answer for this is she said her end was near. Next question. Who is the main character of the chapter, The Portrait of a Lady? Daughter, mother, sister, or grandmother? The correct answer for this, I think everybody knows by now, is grandmother. Next question. How did the grandmother spend her afternoon every day? By going to temple, by taking a nap, by talking to authors' mothers, or by feeding hundred of sparrows. So what grandmother did when she moved to the city to spend the afternoon, she used to feed hundred of sparrows every day. So the correct answer for this is by feeding hundred of sparrows. The next question. How did the grandmother look? Old, short, slightly bent and fat, old, fat and long, long, fat, slightly bent, or slightly bent and fat. So well, she looked old and she was short and she was slightly bent and fat. So this is the correct option. Next MCQ. When did the author's parents leave him with his grandmother? When he was an infant, when he became a teenager, when he was a kid, when he failed and became a teenager. So correct answer for this is when he was a kid. The author's parents left him with his grandmother. Next question. What was grandmother's reaction when the author was going abroad? Sad, not even sentimental, sentimental or happy? Well, it is a tricky question and it is very important MCQ. So the correct answer is not even sentimental. Just remember this. Next question. What made the grandmother unhappy about the author's new English school? Because she didn't understand English, because they were in city, the fact that she could no longer help him with the lessons because she did not understand English and could no longer help him with the lessons. So correct answer for this is because she didn't understand English and could no longer help him with the lessons. Next question. Which animal did the grandmother use to feed in the village? Cats, dogs, sparrows, or cows? The correct answer for this is the dogs. She used to feed dogs in the villages. Where did the author go to study in the city? By walking down to the nearby school, English school in a motor bus, Hindi school, or nowhere? Well, the author used to go to study in the city in an English school in a motor bus. So here comes the last MCQ. How did the grandmother die? While sleeping, during telling beads, laying on the bed, in the hospital, or none of these? It's an important MCQ. It comes quite often. So you need to remember, grandmother died during telling beads and laying on the bed. Okay, children, if you like this MCQ and the way I presented it, please do like this video and share and subscribe to the channel. And you can find the link to attempt this MCQ yourself in the description of the video. And if you want me to add any specific chapters on a priority basis, please comment and I will do the needful. Okay. Thank you.